What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. I wanted to, this actually does pertain, this is a business channel. I wanted to get a message out of this, and I'm going to try and do it in a way that won't offend people, because as you guys know, I'm not racist, I'm not sexist, I'm not chauvinist. I love everyone. I treat everyone the same. Anyone who's dealt with me of any race, creed, color, orientation, whether you're a transgender, whether you're homosexual, whether you're white, black, green, blue, purple, lime, and green, I love you, okay? I don't care. I grew up in a very diverse culture, and honestly, it doesn't bother me, but I wanted to read this article sent to me by my man Bruce Neller. Now, I'm involved in a circle of friends. It's basically myself and a bunch of science motherfuckers, and Bruce Neller is one of them. He's the CEO of Giant Sports. Good friend of mine, and he sent this article over today. It's from the Daily Caller. It's titled Lawsuit. Lesbian Boss Fired Gym Teacher Because of His Traditional Family. A gym teacher in New York City has filed a lawsuit claiming that his lesbian boss at a posh private school sacked him because he is straight, happily married, and has 3 children with his heterosexual wife. Essentially, he was fired. He asserts that his gay athletic director, Pat Krieger, remember Pat from Saturday Night Live, the kind of ambiguously male/female, that kind of, anyway, ever since she took over, despised him for his traditional family status ever since she took over in 2009. Let me turn this volume down. I'm sorry, guys. Discrimination suit claims that Krieger attempted to force Kenny to coach 3 sports, even though his contract only mandated he coaches 2. She basically said we all make choices, being that his reason for not doing that is I can't coach 3 teams. I've coached 1 team, and that's fucking inundating, right? This guy's a coach, but nonetheless, it is what it is. The suit claims that Krieger ran off 3 other married coaches who have young kids and notes that Kenny's replacement is a gay female. He also claims that Krieger had asked Kenny not to attend social events because he is an older straight male with wife and kids and routinely favored other single younger females without children. Here's the deal. It's a swanky school, had self-absorbed writer Truman Capote, Ivanka Trump, and limousine leftist Katrina Vanden Heuvel. Whatever. It basically is a right-wing article. Take it for what it's worth. Here's the deal. You could probably tell from that. Here's the deal. I actually wrote a response to this. I'm going to actually find the email, and I wasn't planning on doing this, but I thought I actually did a decent job in conveying my thoughts. And here's what I wrote to the group. A bunch of science motherfuckers, right? To be honest, discrimination comes in all varieties. It isn't reverse discrimination. Side note. White people, and you see in the media, tend to say reverse discrimination anytime a white male or anybody of Caucasian descent or skin tone is discriminated against. No. Discrimination is discrimination. I wrote discrimination is discrimination. Intolerance of others' belief is wrong regardless of the affiliation of the offending party. So what I'm saying is, it's going to happen. I have been discriminated against in my life in the workplace. I was never asked my age, but when I was hired aboard one company, the CEO, when he found out my age, immediately demoted me because I was too young to be as successful as I was. And then they lowered my pay because I was too young to be as successful as I was. Even though I was performing above and beyond what my job description was, he could not stand to see someone as young as I making that kind of money. Now, I actually did look into suing his ass. I did. I don't know if I would have followed through on it, but the age in California, at least at the time, you couldn't sue for being too young. You can sue for age discrimination based on being old, but it would be a tough, if not impossible, road to, I don't know, climb? Fuck, my metaphors suck! If I was to try and sue for being discriminated against for being too young. Now, I don't like any of this stuff. I don't like any discrimination. I don't like, well, he's too young for this. If you're performing your job to your duty, you should be able to do that. Now, what I see in this case is something that could be discrimination. Now, California, actually, here's a side note. My father-in-law owned a security business. He employed Well, he didn't really care. As long as someone could do the job, he didn't care if they were black, white, Mexican, lesbian, straight. He had 2 lesbian employees who happened to be a couple and 1 black woman. And the black woman sued him, and he ended up settling because it would have cost him more to fight it, saying she was discriminated against not for being black, but for being straight. She claimed that the lesbians discriminated against her because she didn't like women, not because she was black, because she was straight, which is absurd. But in the state of California, he had to settle. In any state, you get sued 90% of the time, you have to settle because the legal fees to fight it, and then what it'll take to recoup if you sue for to get your legal fees back, it's tough to do. California is a cesspool of legal bullshit. Everybody asks, why don't you move back to California? It's a fucking disaster. I love it. I'm California till I die. West side till I die. YXY. East side. Well, fuck it. Okay, I'm getting all my rap songs confused. See what you're doing to me? Okay, so the bottom line is, when you're in the workplace, you're going to deal with adversity. And one way to work with that is discrimination is wrong. As a CEO, I don't even see, even if I was a racist or I was a bigot, I would still want someone who could bring ROI, return on investment, to the table. Whether they're black, white, female, or I don't care if you're transgender, I don't care what you are, I don't care if I could find a goat on the street, a goat, an actual animal, a goat who can do the work and bring in an ROI on the investment I'm making in them as an employee, that goat's gonna be the damn CEO of the company. It's gonna be the first GOAT CEO of MTS Nutrition or TigerFitness.com. So the bottom line is, guys, what I wanted to get the take home of this is when you're at work and you're faced with discrimination, you have a couple things you can do. You can either find a new job and get out of there. It is an open market. And realize that this person is going to drive themselves out of business because they're a bigot and their personal fear of other races, genders, creeds, whatever, is going to get in the way of them making money. Or you could stay in there, fight the good fight, and sue them and hope to God you win. Now, what I would do, what I did, I moved on and I got a new position. If you're qualified, you get a new job, but I understand that sometimes you just have to do what's right, and sometimes that means suing the person who is offending you. Now, I'm not saying go out there and look for a reason to sue somebody, but I'm saying that there are instances where this can happen. Now, this guy, if his story is correct, and he's having trouble finding a new position, you know what? I can see grounds for this suit. But what I wanted to get at also is there's no such thing as reverse discrimination. Discrimination is discrimination. Whether you're white, black, Latino, Asian, it doesn't matter. If you're being discriminated against because you're different than someone, that's out and out wrong. And what this woman allegedly did, if she did it, is out and out wrong. I'm Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Because being fired for being a white, straight male with kids, I'm screwed. And that's not a game. Boom!